Good day all, welcome back to Cruisin Classics YouTube channel. Today we have for you a Factory 5 recreation of a 1965 Shelby Daytona. What a cool piece this is. Ready to go to the track today. That's what it's been used for since it was finished being built in 2023. And wait till you see all the cool extras on this ride. Now, Factory 5 is well known for making their kits, particularly of Cobras, but also of these Daytonas. It's a jig welded tubular frame underneath with a laminate composite body. Got a big forward hinge single piece nose. That whole front end all lifts forward, and I'll show you that when we get to the point of looking at the engine here shortly. Good looking paint job done in blue, but it is only high driver quality. There are some little scars here and there. You can see this car has been driven. There's another small one. It's little stuff like that. There's another little one. This car's been driven on the track about 2,500 miles. Well, 2,500 miles total since it was built, and a big chunk of that's track driving. So a little rock chip here or there. Nice white racing stripes, white roundels, both on the hood and on the doors. LED headlights, you can see turn signal indicators there as well, all with clear Lexan plastic over top of it. Hood's got a power bulge and this great looking intake that heads right down into that radiator. Yes indeed, they are bound to keep things cool in there. Coming around the side, lots more to look at here. You can see we've got some side vents. Those are the clasps that you undo on either side to lift the whole front nose cone up. You can see we've got side pipes. And note, when the side pipes were put in, they could have done a better job of cutting out the fiberglass right there where they come out. Extended black side mirrors, adjustable on both sides. There's those roundels on the door with the O2 on them. Notice there are no door handles on the exterior, and we'll get to that shortly here. Wheel and tire treatment, now that's a real plus for this car. Kansei KNP wheels, Bridgestone Potenza tires, and you can see through there we've got slotted rotors and Brembo black calipers up front, plain calipers in the back, four-wheel disc brakes. Yes indeed. As we come around to the rear of the car, again, great styling. Large hatchback window leads you back to a nice looking spoiler that's riveted on here in the rear with a continuation of those racing stripes. And in the very back, just a small oval panel with your tail lights and a license plate light and holder. Let's take a look here while we're in the back at what's hiding in the hatchback area. First, we've got a prop for the hood. We've got some receipts, not near all receipts, but quite a few for things that were purchased for the car. The guy we got it from, he's the one who finished the build. It was a roller when he got it, and he finished the work. We have the sliding plexiglass windows. And in this bag, a multitude of little things, like the original booklet from the donor car Ford that they pulled the engine and transmission out of, little templates they used to cut things, and some touch-up paint. Just a couple little extras in there. In this bag, fitted car cover, and here are the frame pieces if you want to use those side windows. They haven't been used currently, but they seem to be pretty easy to put in. I think you may have to drill into the car though. Looking at these ends, the way that they're made, there's holes in them. I think you'll probably need to do a little bit of drilling to fit those in. All right, let's go ahead and shut the rear. On the passenger side of the rear of the car, you got a Le Mans style gas cap. I love these. Flips right up, hides the gas cap underneath. side pipes sound really nice on this car. I'm anxious for you to hear it once we get it started here in a few. Now that we're back up front, I am going to pause briefly. I'm going to get this hood open. We'll talk about all the good stuff that's hiding underneath. Then we're going to hop in this beast and start it up. And we are back with the hood open on the 1965 Shelby Daytona recreation. Checking out the engine bay. Easy to work on when you lift up that whole nose cone, that's for sure. Again, I mentioned the frame of the car, but I didn't mention all of the aluminum panels that go into it. You can see all over the place how they've used lightweight aluminum in the build of this car. You can see how headers drop out and turn into your side pipes over here. The heart of the matter is a 5-liter Coyote V8. It's made it up to a 6-speed Getrag manual transmission, and those were both pulled out of a 2012. That's a 2012 Mustang GT. Had 12,000 miles on it when those got pulled out, and they've got another 2.5, so 14,500 miles on that engine and drivetrain. Not much at all. Nice Shelby covers on the side here. Spectre intake and air cleaner. That's a Mustang intake as well on top. I mentioned before the aluminum radiator with that giant puller fan on it. While we're up here, I'll show you that it is a power steering car, and it is also power 4-wheel disc brakes. You can see we've got adjustable coilover Coney shocks. Those are on all 4 corners, and up front you've got tubular control arms for the lowers and adjustable control arms for the uppers. Back in the back, it's a 3-link suspension, also with coilovers. Hiding underneath on the other side, I think I might be able to get it in this from this view. There's an old Air Products AC and heat system. There it is down there. The problem is the heat works, the fan works, but the AC does not. We tried to charge the compressor and that was ineffective, so we are unsure as to why it's not blowing cold at the moment. You can see here we've got a lot more aluminum going on all over the place. It is a beast of an engine. It's got a tune from Oz Tuning. It's called an Omega Tune on it. It's got an OBD2 plug and play adapter harness, so that everything on it, all the electric stuff, works just as it should. That 6-speed manual puts down the power to the rear end through a Detroit Speed rear differential, 331 limited slip gears, just what you want. All right, I'm going to pause briefly. We're going to get the hood shut, and I'll pop inside, and we'll start firing this car up and playing with all the extras. All right, we got the hood closed on the 1965 Shelby Daytona, and now we're about to hop inside. How do you get inside? Pretty simple. You just reach over here, and there's a door handle, a very small one, right inside. Pops the door open, and you get a view of the interior. First, while I'm not sitting in it, it's easier to talk about the seats. They are Recaro seats out of an Evo. That's a Mitsubishi from 03 to 05, highly bolstered, really nice quality seats. You can see we've got the 4-point racing seat belts in there. The seat is suede on the sides and then has this bluish black fabric inside here. And it does have some light stains on it down here and on the other side. A couple on the passenger side as well. A little bit of scuffing on the door sill. You can see we've got black carpet all around. Let's hop in. Simple vinyl doors. And there's that one door handle, and that's it. Got a nice stopper here. This will stop the door from swinging too far, as you can see. Done in leather, looks sharp, kind of classy. Let's take a look over at the passenger seat. You can see we've got a little bit of staining there as well. And we got a Simpson 4-point racing harness. You see the passenger door, same as the driver's, simple, just a handle and a little stop strap. Between the seats, nice padded vinyl coated, or vinyl covered, center console area, a Ford Performance shifter for that 6-speed Getrag, and that same fabric, the padded vinyl, goes onto this section and up onto the whole dash. It looks fresh, it looks new, it's cleaner than most of these that I've seen out there. A lot of them don't use that nice padded vinyl. They don't look as cool as this. Well laid out, that's for sure. Looking ahead at the steering wheel, Sparco, also Ford Performance, on a really short hub. Look how close that steering wheel is to the dash. You feel like you are driving a race car. Flat bottom on the steering wheel and a nice kind of suede coating on it. Perfectly framed simplistic gauges, 160 mile an hour speedometer, and an 8K tach. Now while you're holding onto the steering wheel, you can reach out literally while holding onto it and push the turn signals. On either side, there's the other one right there. They both work, and it's pretty cool that that's how you actually do it. The steering wheel is not tilt, it is stationary, so this is the fit you get. There is a horn down here because there isn't one on the steering wheel itself. Got some nice aluminum race pedals down low, and you've got vents here and on the other side of the dash. Those are for the old Air Products vintage air style system. Nice looking system, lights up when you turn the lights on, fan blows like crazy, directional diverter works fine, heat works fine, but it is not blowing cold currently. Also on the main dash, there's your ignition, and here, this is a really cool piece. This is an AEM digital display racing dash, and when it lights up, you'll see some of the functions that it's able to do. I'd recommend going to their website, checking out the finer details of this particular product. It does have a lot of functions. You can set these lights up here that they'll increase and tell you when to shift. It's got gauges on it that you can change around. Right now it's set up a special way, but you can have it reprogrammed differently if you like. Now down below that is a big row of all kinds of buttons and switches. We've got lights and brights over here. Oh gosh, it's hard for me to remember what's what. That's the fog lamps over here. I'm gonna have to put the key in. I think that one's the wipers, but I'm not sure. It's hard to remember what all 6 of those do since they're not labeled. Let's go ahead and put the key in, fire this up, and then we'll talk some more about that. 2,495.1 miles currently on her. And you can see that AEM gauge pops up right away. 260 mile an hour on the speedo, 9K on the tach, an oil pressure gauge, and a water temp gauge, and a fuel gauge. Great sounding car. You'd think it'd be louder with just straight headers to side pipes, but it sounds pretty sedate for a race car. Oh yeah, listen to that. Oh yeah, yes please. Okay, so there we go. There's the lights. Lights come on, lights come on. And there is the fog lights. You can see them shining on that truck up ahead of me. That one does the backup camera, which is in the place where your rear view mirror would be. So you just glance right up and you get a full rear view. Turns on and on with button number 3. You can see while we're looking up, no headliner, just done in black with the original roof material up here. We'll move over to the other side. We've got working wipers. Under dash light for the driver. And lastly, lights for the rear cargo area. So all of those buttons work. They do exactly what they're supposed to. Once you learn them and you don't have to think about it anymore, it becomes a lot easier. I would not bother marking them because that looks kind of cheesy, and once it's your car, you know what works what. I'll turn on the air system so you can hear the fan blow. I mean, it blows like a beast, but it just doesn't blow cold. pricey as this car may be out on the track, it is still well suited for driving around town. It's comfortable to sit in, it's not hard to get in and out of. You've got all the gauges you need, you've got turn signals, you've got wipers. You could definitely drive this car out to dinner on a Saturday night. You could go for a cruise in the country. You can drive it to your local car show. You can drive it to the track, win a race, and drive it home. How many cars can you do that with? Pretty doggone cool. Let's get outside and give a listen to the tips. Like I said, pretty sedate when we're just at idle, but I bet when you really stomp on it out on the track, it just screams. What a cool car. Folks, if you've got any questions or interest in this replica Factory 5 1965 Shelby Daytona, give us a call. Here at Cruisin Classics in Columbus, our number is 614-276-7355. We can help you out with transportation quotes. We can also help you out with companies that finance classics, just like this one. And we are here to answer any questions you've got. Again, at Cruisin Classics in Columbus, 614-276-7355. We appreciate everybody joining us today. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. We'll be back again tomorrow with something else cool.